Hello, Year 3, and welcome to Monday math lesson. Now, my laptop doesn't want to be my friend at the moment and doesn't want me to film this column edition lesson, but I think I've fixed it now, so hopefully I don't keep freezing in this one. But if I do freeze, don't worry, hopefully my voice is still talking and you can still hear me, because the main thing is you can see the screen and can hear me. So if I freeze in a funny position, you can just have a little giggle at me. So today's math lesson, and for the rest of the week, we are continuing column addition. So we're going to continue with what you've been learning with Mr. Kenham and Mrs. Pedger. And then you're going to go on after half term to do column subtraction. So we're learning the key skills at the moment. So on Friday you did column addition with adding two three-digit numbers with two exchanges, didn't you? An exchange in the tens and an exchange in the ones, which is brilliant. So today we're going to continue doing that. We're going to be drawing our pictorial representations at the start, and then going on to writing the formal column addition with our digits. Now, some of you don't like doing the pictorial drawings and would rather just do the writing of the column addition, which is absolutely fine. And some of you don't really want to just do the writing, would rather do the drawing before the writing, even with the do it today, and that's absolutely fine as well. If you want to continue to do some equipment, that is fine also. So only you know what helps you best, okay? So just do whatever helps you and makes you understand it as much as you can. So we are going to be continuing today, exchanging in the tens and the ones with our column addition of the two three-digit numbers. We're going to start with drawing our manipulatives. We're going to be using our face value knowledge because it's so important to always use that in column addition, isn't it? Because we need to know exactly where to put our hundreds, tens and ones numbers. And we are going to be exchanging multiple times in one number sum. So we're not just doing one exchange today, we're doing two exchanges, just like you did on Friday. Now I will try and trick you up in some of the questions. Sometimes there might be one exchange, sometimes there might be two. Okay, so you've always got to be on the ball. So before we do anything else, I want to see how much you can remember from Friday, because I'm sure you all had really great busy weekends, and you probably are like, oh, I can't remember what we did on Friday. This is a little bit of a recap for you. So we've got 148 and 364. And I want you to draw it using our hundreds, tens and ones. We use our squares for hundreds, our sixes for tens, and our dots for ones. Can you see this column addition drawing it? And remember, it will have two exchanges in. So give this a go now, pause the video and see if you can have a go at this. Okay, then well, hopefully you did this. So I saw myself earlier and I think my camera's frozen again. So don't worry, hopefully you can still hear me. So we've got hundreds, tens and ones because it's really important to put those in to help us with our face value. You don't have to put them in, but I do when I draw. So we've got 100, 4 tens and 8 ones in our 148, and then 300, 6 tens and 4 ones. Oh, I think I'm back. No, I froze again. Okay then, so we've got 8 and 4 on our ones. I know that's 12, so I'm going to circle 10 of those and leave 2 out, and exchange that for 1 10. That leaves us with 2 ones. And then we've got 10 tens. I know 6 and 4 is 10, so I'm going to exchange that for 100. And I've got 1 left that we exchanged from the ones, so I'm going to pop a 1 there. And how many hundreds have we got? We've got 5. So our answer is 512. Okay then, if you manage to do that, well done. So 2 exchanges, so circling the ones and circling the tens and exchanging them for either a 10 or 100. Okay, so that is what we did on Friday, and today we are going to have a go at doing it in written form. So some of the do-its today are represented in these different ways. Now we're used to just the number sum, aren't we? We know if that we see that wants us to know 346 and 164. But these forms here are asking us exactly the same thing. Now what's this called up here? It's called a bar model. And a bar model is a bit like a jigsaw. These two pieces go together to make the whole. But the whole is missing, isn't it? So we obviously need to do 346 add 164 to work that out. The same with this down here. Do you remember what this is called? This is called a part whole model. So 164 add 346. And then they add together to make this whole as well, which is missing. So we need to do the column addition to work it out. So if you see these, don't think, oh, that's not what we're doing, I don't understand. This is just asking you to do the addition sums, but in a different form, different way of showing it, different representation. Okay, so 346 add 164. I'm going to play the video now, so I'm probably going to freeze again. But we are going to do it using our numbers. So we've got 110s and 1s again. I write them to help me, you don't need to write them. We've got 346, putting them in correct columns, and 164. Now I put an at there, which will help you when you do subtraction, but you don't have to worry about that for now. 6 add 4, I know that's 10, leaving us with no 1s, and 110 that we've exchanged. 6 add 4, that is 10 as well, but we've got 1, so we're going to cross that out and put 11. So if we are exchanging 10 of those 10s for 100. 3 add 1 is 4, add another 1 is 5. So we've got 510 as our answer. Remember, it's so important, just as important as putting them in the correct column, is crossing these out. So when you cross them out, you know that you've included them in the answer. If we forget about them and we don't include them, we would have ended up with 400. We would have ended up with 400, wouldn't we? Because we wouldn't have included that one in the answer. We wouldn't have included that 10 in the answer. So this would be 110 less than the actual answer. When we cross it out, it's just a way of showing us, oh, I definitely included that. So this must be the correct answer. Okay, so that's how we're doing it in that form there. Exactly the same way, exactly the same form as we're doing with our drawing. It's just this time we are writing the numbers. So if you want to do this as well as drawing it, or do this as well as making it with your equipment, that's fine. If you want to do just this, even better. Okay, so this is what I want you to do with this practice it then. Look, 277 and 435. Can you write this in formal column addition with your digits? And have a go at this. Remember, we'll have to exchange it. So pause this down and have a go. Okay, hopefully you got the answer 712. If you did, well done. So 7 add 5 is 12, isn't it? So leaving us with 2 1s. We've exchanged 10 of those 1s for a 10. 7 add 3 is 10. Add the 1 is 11. So I crossed that out, I've included it, 11, and I've exchanged 10 10s for 100. 4 add 2 is 6. Add another 1 is 7. 712. If you got that right, well done. So this one is a little bit different. So it's the same way. I'm going to do the same column addition, and I'm going to do the same exchanging. I want you to spot what's different about this. Have a look. I froze again. So again, 110s and 1s. I'm writing out my numbers. 825. And then I've got 286. I'm going to turn this down because you can hear my squeaky pen. Okay then, so starting with the 1s like we always do. 5 add 6 is 11. So I'm going to put 1 1 and then exchange 10 of those 1s. 8 add 2 is 10, but remember to include that extra 1, so it's 11 exchanging 10 of the 10s for 100. Oh, 8 add 2 is 10. Oh, 1 and it's 11. Oh, we can't have 1100, can we? So I need to exchange the 10 hundreds needs to be exchanged over. So our answer is that. How do we say that? I didn't count them all to be the same number, it just happened. What number is this up here? How do we say that? 1,111. Well done. We have got 1,000 number. It's got 4 digits. So we have done 3 exchanges here, haven't we? So we have exchanged 10 of those 10s over here. But here we have 1,100 and we can't have above 9, can we? So we have exchanged 10 of those hundreds over to create a new column, the thousands column. Because 10 tens is 100, but 10 hundreds is 1,000. So we've got an extra column here. Okay, I didn't cross that one out, but I should, shouldn't I? Shouldn't me? So we've ended up with 1,111. And we are briefly touching on this because we're not focusing on thousands, but one of the duets today is going into the thousands. Now, I wonder if you can give that a go, because remember, if you get to having to exchange over here, that just means that you're going to have 1,000. It's very similar, just means you're going into the thousands numbers, which means your answer will have 4 digits. So the duets then, remember, they are following different formats. So today, the first one is a bar model. So we'll be doing 349, add 378, and you'll be writing the answer in that, and you're same for this bottom one. And then you're going to have a go at this duet as well, which is our part whole model. So you're going to add the parts together to find out what the whole is. So 4 formal column additions forming. So pause the video now and have a go. Remember, someone trying to trick you, some only have 1 exchange, and 1 goes into the thousands. Give that a go. Okay, then, so for one of the bar models, the answer was 873. This one only had 1 exchange, so we had to exchange 10 of the 1s over to the 10s, and we ended up with 873. Next up, we have our 2 exchanges again, 727. So 9 add 8 is 17. Exchange 10 of those 1s. 4 add 7 is 11. Adding this one down here is 12. Exchanging 10 of those 10s for 100. Then 3 add 3 is 6. Add another 100 is 700. 727. This one then, so we've got 546. Add 295. 6 add 5 is 11. We're exchanging 10 of the 1s. 9 add 4 is 13, but remember to include this one, so it's 14. Exchange 10 of those 10s for 100. And then we've got 5 add 2 is 7. Add the extra 100 is 800. 841. And finally, this is our tricky one. This is the one that went into the thousands. So we had 5 add 6, which is 11. So we've exchanged 10 of those 1s to make it 10. 8 add 3 is 11. Add in this one down here makes 12. So exchange 10 of those 10s for 100. And then 6 add 3 is 9. Oh, but don't forget this extra 1 is 10. So we have to put a 0, so we have no hundreds. But that made 1,000. And I did not, let me see if I can do that now, did not carry that over, did I? So I would have crossed that out, and that would have made, oh, it's very hard to write, isn't it? 1,000. So our answer is 1,021. There's no hundreds in our answer, but there is 1,000. So well done if you did that. So you'll secure it and you'll do it today. So you'll secure it. You need to identify the odd one out in relation to the number of exchanges that take place. Now, there's so many things that can make things odd one out. Maybe the answers 2 would be an odd answer and 1 would be an even answer. Or maybe 2 has the number 8 in and 1 doesn't have an 8. But for my answer that I want you to get, I want you to find the odd one out in relation to the number of exchanges. So you need to work out the answer and one of them will have maybe more or maybe less exchanges than the others. Okay, so that's how you're going to work that out. So to find the answers, take a look at how many exchanges each column addition has. And you'll be in it. Zach and Essen finished their game of Scrabble. Zach scored 247 points and Essen scored 184 points. Zach thinks they scored 421 points in total. Is he correct? So Zach's probably very happy because he's clearly won, hasn't he? Because he scored more points. He wants to work out how many they scored in total. So you need to work that out in column addition. And then you need to tell me if 421 is the correct answer. If it's not, what has Zach done wrong? And what is the correct answer? Okay, so I want you to let me know that. Now, your math is not what you're sending in to us today. You're sending in your literacy, aren't you? So I will pop a separate document onto the website, which will give you the answers for the secure and the deep. And that way you can check your answers yourself to see if you got them correct. So still give them a go, and that way you can see the answers. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this math session.